Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga. We are in the month of August 2023, and I have a focus today on a few poses. We're going to do kind of like a little workshop on a couple of poses where we really focus and break them down, find out what the body's doing during these poses, give you some wonderful adaptations for them. These poses are triangle, or also known as trikonasana in the Sanskrit. We will do a revolved triangle, which means twisting in that pose. And we're also going to focus on a pose called dolphin and a few adaptations for that. So what I'd like you to do is just start on your mat. Oh, and by the way, I have a chair here for an option. I also have my yoga strap and my block, and I have a little hand towel as well for some of the poses. So let's start in mountain. Standing nice and tall. You can have your feet about hips distance apart or a little closer together if you like to challenge your balance a little more. And inhale, bring the arms up. When they touch above the head, bend your elbows to bring your thumbs back behind your neck. Straighten your arms back up and release down. With the breath, we'll inhale, reach. Exhale to bend your elbows. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. I just got a little text to my watch, so I just want to make sure it's not any of you. Oh, no, that's good. That's my sister. All right, so let's do that again. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, bend your elbows, back behind your neck goes the thumbs. Breathe in and breathe out. So just notice, how is your range of motion for this, doing it standing? That might dictate how you do your dolphin pose today. This is a nice warm up for the shoulders and the triceps. One more time. And down. Okay, let's keep the left foot directly the way it is, facing forward. Take your right foot out to the side and turn your foot out to the right. Now notice that makes your hips want to go this way. I want you to keep your hips as squared forward as you can. So this right leg is rotated out. We'll reach our arms over to the left and take a side stretch. And then over to the right. Now, when you're here, this is essentially triangle pose. It's just very, very baby, but this is triangle. So we'll come back to the other side. And we'll just spend maybe about another 45 seconds. Go back and forth at your own pace. And the goal is to try not to twist and bend over here. So we really want to keep that shoulder back as we move from side to side. Stretching the QL muscle in the back, the obliques through the side waist, up into the lats. And if it bothers your shoulders to reach, a lot of options here to how we can place our hands. Maybe just holding the shoulders here. Let's do one more to each side. And then just come back up. And we'll flip the feet. So now your right foot's going to turn forward. Your left foot turns out. Ooh, my hips just wanted to go that way. So get your foot in place and rotate your hips. You don't have to be perfectly squared, as much as you can. And let's side stretch to the right first. Boy, this feels different on this side. And now when we go to the left, this is triangle pose. Just the babyest, smallest triangle. So if you look down at your feet, Where your left heel is, it should be in alignment with the arch of your right foot. So let's go back and forth between these two stretches. Maybe about another 40 seconds. And when you come this way, make sure you don't drop your shoulder and lean over. So keep pulling it back. Wow, what a way to start our day, right? Should feel excellent. Your core is nice and stable. And your eyes should be straight forward. So try not to drop your chin and look down at your mat. Let's go one more each side. And then just bring yourself all the way up. Good. Turn both feet straight forward again. You can step in a little closer, maybe to hips distance. Sit down into chair pose. Bring your arms forward. And then I want you to explore whether you can bring your arms up a little higher and reach your hands back behind your head. Then release it forward. Rise up out of the chair pose and reach your arms way back behind you. Your palms can face any direction. Just give yourself a chest expansion. So we'll sit. Now, if you can't bring your arms really high, then you're just going to bend your elbows right here instead of up here. And then rise up and bring it back. Okay, let's do this at your own pace for about a minute. Now notice, if you have the flexibility to bring those hands, the thumbs behind your neck right here, your back wants to arch. So pull your abs in really tight. Try not to drop your head to get your hand back behind your neck. Keep your head forward. And here is okay too, just a little bend of the elbows. And let's do two more. Nice alignment with your knees in that chair pose. And all the way up, pull back into that chest expansion. And release the arms by your side. So I have my chair here in front of me, and we're going to do a little bit of stretching with a forward fold. So standing right in front of the chair, inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward, putting your hands on your chair. Now, can you keep your legs straight, or do you need to have a little bend in your knees? I want you to do whatever you can here. And then back yourself up to make sure your arms are straight, and see if you can extend down into this stretch for the shoulders. Now, only taking this to where it feels okay for your body. This is like a down dog, but we don't have any weight on our wrists. One more breath. And then we'll inhale, swan dive up, and exhale down. So if that was a really big stretch, I want you to do that one again. Otherwise, step a little closer to your chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and dive down. See if you can put your elbows on the chair and bring your hands behind the back of the neck and hold your stretch here. And just let your chest sink down. Again, you can bend your knees. So now we have that stretch through the lats, just like we did with the arms straight, but now with the bend of the elbows, we're really stretching through our triceps. One more breath. And then if your elbows are bent, you can straighten your arms as you rise up. Inhale, reach. And exhale the arms by your side. We'll step our right foot back. Turn the toe out slightly. Square your hips forward. Warrior one. Inhale to reach the arms up if you can. Press your palms together. Bend your elbows so the hands come behind the back of the neck. And then we'll reach back up and press the arms back behind. So it's just like we did in chair pose with this sequence of the arms. Inhale. See how high you can come up. Option to bend the elbows back. Inhale up. Exhale, press back into your chest expansion. One more time, reach. And bend. Keep your head straight forward. Reach. And back into your chest expansion. We are going to balance on this front leg. So start to shift your body weight forward into your front foot. You can keep your big toe on the floor behind you or pick it up off the floor. If you need some help, your hands can come right down to your chair. As we hold warrior three, try to square your hips. Hands can be at your hips. You can reach your arms forward. You could even bend your elbows to bring your hands behind the back of your neck. One more breath. Step back into your warrior one, bending your front knee. Come to goalpost arms, 90-degree bend in your elbows. Pull your shoulders back, squeezing those shoulder blades. Lovely chest expansion. Then press your palms at heart center and step your right foot forward. Pause for a moment, just check in, catch your breath. Then we'll step our left foot back just a bit, a short stance with a little bit of a turn out of your foot. Square your hips forward, coming into your warrior one. We'll inhale to reach the arms up. Press the palms, option to bend your elbows. Inhale, straighten the arms back up. Exhale, lower and press your hands behind you. Chest expansion, shoulder stretch. Two more, inhale. Now again, if you can't bring your arms up very high, you're just going to bend your elbows, whatever height your shoulders are at. And then press back, open. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out to bend the elbows. Breathe in. And breathe out, press the hands back. Hold, your palms can be facing each other or facing the back or even facing the floor. We'll get ready to balance. Start to shift your body weight forward so your back heel lifts first. Then the big toe maybe comes off the floor. We can use our chair for support. And just see where you can go with this pose. Maybe coming into our dolphin arms. Breathe and stabilize. One more breath. Step back into warrior one. Goalpost arms. Pull your shoulder blades and your elbows back, squaring hips and shoulders. And then press the palms. and we'll step forward. So I'd like you to stand pretty close to your chair. So it's maybe just a few inches away from your legs. And we'll take a nice big step back with whichever foot you need to step to turn to face the camera. So I'm going to step my right one. It might be the opposite for you. So we're going to step out into Warrior Two. So now since I'm facing you, it looks like this is the right side, but this is actually my right foot here. Now check the stance. This foot here is parallel forward. The other foot is facing your chair. We have our hips open and our arms lengthened. We're just going to reach down, maybe placing your hand on your chair, taking a side bend, or your hand can come to your thigh. This is our side angle pose. Your shoulders should be stacked. This arm doesn't need to be up. It can be at your hip. So all we're going to do from this pose is very slowly and carefully straighten out the front leg, the one that was bent. This is your triangle pose. Let's take 5 breaths here and keep rolling that top shoulder back. So we're making sure we're not bending over this way to get into that pose. This arm can be anywhere you'd like. 2 more breaths, using the chair if needed. 1 more breath. And we're simply going to bend that front knee again for our side angle pose and pull the body back up. Relax the arms down to heart center. Turn your torso toward your chair and take a step forward. Nice, just check in. Wow, my waistline really felt that. So now with the other foot, you'll take a big step back, turn your foot out, turn your body to face the opposite direction, come into Warrior Two. Look down at your feet. You should have a heel to arch alignment. And your legs can be any distance apart. That doesn't really matter too much. And then take your side stretch over toward your chair, maybe placing your hand on it or bringing your elbow toward your thigh of that front leg. The top arm can be anywhere you like. And just make sure your shoulders are stacked. Then from here, very slowly, just straighten the front leg. And this is our triangle. We'll hold here about 5 breaths. And slightly squeeze your inner thighs like you were trying to pull your legs closer together. Squeeze your glutes a little bit to open up the front of the back leg hip. Two more breaths. On this last exhalation, just very slowly rebend your front knee. Pull yourself all the way back up. Press your palms together. Turn your chest toward the chair and take a big step forward with the back foot. Good. Just relax your arms by your side. Check in. Maybe do a couple of shoulder rolls. See how that felt for your body. So now you're going to switch legs you're stepping back again with. So in my case, it'll be the right. I'm going to step back with that foot with a little bit of a turnout and keep both legs straight and my hips squared to the chair for pyramid. Now, as we hinge forward, you can see your feet. Make sure there's a nice distance side to side between your feet. So I'm going to even walk my feet a little bit wider apart, not front to back, but side to side. And then keep your back nice and straight, bringing your hands maybe to support to your chair. So today you might like to stay here in your pyramid pose, or if you'd like to try revolved triangle, the hand of the back leg will stay on your chair. The hand of the front leg will start to rotate up toward the ceiling. Or you can wrap it behind your back or place it on your hip. So this is our revolved triangle pose, our twisting trikonasana. Ideally, both legs should be straight, but if you need to put a little bend in your front knee because of a tight hamstring, that's okay. That is a yoga pose in and of itself with the front knee bent. Let's take 2 more breaths. One more breath. Really look up over that top shoulder if you can. Then as you exhale, lower the hands back down. Put a little soft bend in your front knee. Come up to place your palms at your heart. And step the back foot forward. Pause. Enjoy the sensations and feelings in your body, making sure that they feel okay for you. You're not feeling any pain in any joints. And then we'll step the other foot back a bit with a slight turn out of your feet, and you can walk your feet wider apart side to side. Straighten out the front legs, square your hips towards your chair, and begin to hinge forward into your pyramid. Maybe hands coming to the top of your chair. Ooh, now this could feel a lot different in your flexibility. So take your time as you're holding here. Take some nice deep breaths. And you can stay here. Or we'll keep the hand of the back foot on the chair. The hand of the front foot will start to lift as we twist. Oh, that just feels so great. Just wringing out all the tension in the spine. Take options with that top arm. I like the wrap behind your back. It gives you a great stretch through the front of the shoulder, but it might feel uncomfortable for you. So hand can be at your hip and just pull your shoulder back. Send your gaze up. Stay here about 3 more slow breaths. And remember, you can bend your front knee a little bit. On this last exhalation, lower the hand back down to the chair. Put a little bit of a bend in the front knee. Rise up to place palms at your heart and step the back foot forward. Let's step back away from your chair and we'll do 1 more of those down dogs with hands on the chair. And I'm going to invite you to stay there if you'd like, or we can come down to the mat. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lengthen forward, either hands to the top of the chair. Hold your down dog here, or start to bring your hands all the way down to the mat and walk your feet back, taking your down dog. So from here, I'm just going to give you a few seconds just to play. So if you're in down dog on the mat, you might like to pedal out your feet and walk the dog, so to speak. And really feel that nice stretch through the shoulders. Keep pushing back off from the hands, trying to take pressure off of the wrists. Now we are going to come down onto our knees. So whether you have your hands on your chair or on the mat, let's just drop our knees down. If you're using the chair, you probably have to step back a little bit so you can come to hands and knees. I'm going to use my blanket for a little bit of kneecap padding. I'm sure I'm going to have to do that after knee replacement too. Okay, let's take an extended child's pose. So widen your knees a little bit. Sit your hips back any amount towards your heels. Reach your arms out nice and long and see if you can put your forehead down on the floor. If you cannot, you can place a little bit of a hand towel or a block underneath your head. I'm going to grab my little bit of a rolled towel here, for example. And that feels really nice underneath my forehead. So I like to do that action we did earlier. If you can, place your elbows down on the floor, put your palms together, and start to bend your elbows, bringing your hands back behind your neck. And my bun wants to get in the way, the bun on my hair. Okay, so we have that prayer position with the hands, the thumbs are back behind the neck, elbows are on the mat if we can. And you might be able to kind of inch your elbows forward a little bit more on the floor so you can get a maximum stretch here. Now you know your body, so any modifications you need to do for this, feel free. If you don't need to bend your elbows, if that doesn't feel comfortable, just extend the arms out straight. Let's hold here 3 more breaths, getting that nice stretch. And then straighten the arms back out. Walk your hands toward your shoulders and press yourself up. So as we work on dolphin today, if it's not working for you to do dolphin, I want you to do that pose again in child's pose and stretch those shoulders out. Otherwise, we're going to clasp the hands together, make a fist, and bring your elbows down to the mat and your forearms. Your elbows are about shoulders distance apart, so the elbows are right underneath the shoulders on either side. Push the back of your hands down firmly into the floor so you feel that nice engagement. We're going to tuck our toes under, lift our knees up off the mat. This is dolphin, but we want to start to slide the head back between the biceps if possible. So our ears and biceps are in alignment. Now, if we're here, this is not bad. If that's not the range of motion you have for your shoulders, that's absolutely fine. But if you're just doing it because it's maybe a little bit more comfortable, and you can challenge yourself a little more without pain, keep pushing back your full range. And let's hold 5 breaths. Again, if your knees need to come down and you need to do child's pose in this position, great. So this is a modification of downward dog, where we're not using our hands on the mat or flexing at our wrists. Two or three more breaths. And then we'll drop our knees down to the mat. That is a big stretch for the shoulders. So let's take a little bit of a counter stretch. Coming back into child's pose with one arm under your body. So it's not a twist like thread the needle is. It's just a child's pose with the right arm underneath your body. If you can, bring your forehead down to the mat or to a block or to a hand towel. We're just going to stretch that shoulder. Now I have my left arm reaching way out toward the top of the mat. That's great. Or you can set your elbow down and try to scratch your back so that you're getting that tricep stretch, which is one half of our cow face pose. And one more breath. And then we're going to use the strength of our left arm. Place that hand right underneath your shoulder. Push yourself up and slide that arm out from underneath. Then let's switch. So we'll slide the left arm under your body. Lay that forehead down to the mat or block or any prop. Make sure that feels like a comfortable stretch. Bring the right arm to reach way up, or bend your right elbow to take half of your back scratch or cow face position. And then settle into your breath. The last inhalation. And then take that right hand right underneath your shoulder to push yourself up, sliding the left arm out. Now we'll come into a forearm plank. So again, we're going to clasp the hands, put those elbows down onto the floor, press firmly into the hand, walk one foot back, tuck the toe under, walk the other foot back, coming into your plank. Now, if it's more comfortable for your knees now to drop down, that's okay. We're going to hold here about 60 seconds. So maybe you're starting from your toes and you can do that for about 10-15 seconds. Then your knees need to come down. Or perhaps you'll need to take a complete rest and just relax everything down and then come back up. So you choose what you can do during this 1 minute. 40 seconds to go. Keep the breath moving. And you're pushing down into your forearms to lift the shoulders up. So try not to sag here and collapse. This is a lot of work. Looking for 30 seconds. Oh no, we're further than that. We have 15 seconds. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Come back and enjoy a little child's pose. Your hands can reach out, or you can bring them next to the sides of your body to completely relax your shoulders. And then we are going to come all the way down onto our bellies. And if you have a little bit of a hand towel or something you can put underneath your forehead, that's going to be really nice. So bring yourself all the way down. And then I've got that little rolled hand towel where I can put my forehead right on that. That way my nose isn't touching the floor. And I've got space for my microphone. All right, place your hands right next to your shoulders here. And we are going to lift up into a baby cobra with a tiny bit of help from our hands. So keep your head neutral. Start to lift your chest up. And a little bit of help with your hands, but not much. And then come back down. Now, next time we do this, I want you to think about pushing the top of your feet down into the floor. So our legs aren't coming up. And lift the chest. And lower. Now we're going to add a turn of the head. So as you lift your chest, look to the right. And come down. Lift the chest, look to the left. And come down. Let's do one more of those on each side. Come up looking right. looking left and down. Just relax the head. Now from here, your hands can stay like they are if that feels comfortable. We're going to just lift the right leg off the floor with a straight leg. So tighten your glute muscle and lift that leg up. If your knee bends a little, that's okay, but it's not about bending the knee. So we're lifting a straight leg and lower it down. Lift your left leg and lower. It doesn't have to be high because I don't want you to feel any tension in your low back. I just want you to squeeze your glute muscle and get a little bit of a stretch for your hip flexor. So just keep alternating sides. And then if you would like, when the leg is coming up, you can also lift your chest and then lower it down as the leg lowers. And then switch, lifting the chest. You can also add the turn of the head. So as your right leg lifts, look right. And then switch, left leg lifts, look left. And one more on each leg. And then just relax. We're going to stretch the right quadricep. So first of all, I want you to very slowly start to bend your right knee. Reach back with your right hand. Is it back there close enough you can grab it? If you can't, you're going to roll over onto your left side. Bring that knee forward so you can grab your ankle or wrap your yoga strap around your ankle. You can either stretch it right here on your side, or once you have it, you can try taking it back over to your stomach and stretching it here. So we're going to hold this stretch for about 2 minutes. We can also come up onto the left elbow and come up here into a little bit of a bow pose. Or you can even lift up with the strength of your back and lift your left arm up off the floor. So a lot of options depending on whether you just want this to be relaxing or if you want to be a little bit more in the work phase of this pose. So notice what happens if you tighten your right gluteal muscle. Just squeeze, and that makes your hip want to push down into the floor, giving you a deeper stretch. We have 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. If you need to release it sooner, feel free to do that. And even if you're still on your side, you can squeeze that glute, try to drag your knee back a little bit more. Just keep breathing slowly, relax everything. Let those muscles stretch. 30 seconds to go. And we're back to one breath to go. And then slowly release that ankle. And just relax there for a moment. So I already know for me going to the other side, it's going to be a challenge to bend my knee enough. So I'm actually going to collect my yoga strap really quick so that I can use it on the other side. Okay, so on the left side, we'll start by bending the knee. See if you can reach back. No, there's no chance for me. So I'm going to roll to my side. This is even difficult now here. I could get it, but I'm going to use the yoga strap. Place that around the ankle. That way I can give it some space. And then roll back if you'd like. And this is going to work for me. Okay, 2 minutes on this side if you're up to that challenge. And we want to squeeze the left glute to push the hip down. You might even be able to kind of lift your thigh up off the mat a little bit to get more stretch. That's going to bring it more into the hip flexor. You can also come up to the right elbow, adding a little bit of a half bow Sphinx option. And with the yoga strap, it's nice because I can actually, if my knee's feeling tender, I can let it out and in a little bit while I'm stretching this. I think I'm going to be doing some of this to get my range of motion back after surgery. Because I'm hoping eventually I'll still be able to grab my ankle. But if I can't, I'm kind of ready to give that up. If I never get there, it's okay. We have to accept some of those changes in our life and be okay with them, right? Okay, we have 30 seconds, everybody. And one more breath. Exhale. And release that side slowly. And just check in. Now ask yourself a question. Would you be able to reach back and get both feet at the same time? So before we try that, we're going to lift the chest and both legs at the same time. Up and down. You can keep your hands on the mat a little bit for a little bit of help, or you can lift them up, or you can reach your arms forward or next to your sides. And this is our, I'm having a brain fart. You're all saying it to me right now. And lift, I'll think of the name of the pose. And lower. Let's do one more. Lift. And lower. So if you're not able to grab your ankles, you're just going to try to bend your knees only and lift your chest and hold it up. Otherwise, see if you can reach back, grab the feet on both sides, and hold your bow. Just 15 seconds. I feel like I need to get a little drink of water. That's okay, I can make it. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then release the feet. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale to prepare to press yourself up. Exhale, push. Bring your knees underneath you to hands and knees. And a nice counter pose is cat stretch. So tuck your tailbone, round your back like a cat, open up that lumbar spine. Inhale, exhale. 2 more breaths. And then come back down to neutral. We'll come to a seated position. If you have a little cushion to sit on, that's great. And we are going to come into our cow face. Since we've really stretched the triceps well by doing all that work, that's going to help us with our cow face pose. I like to use the yoga strap, but you don't need it if you don't have one. If you're using it, take it in your right hand, reach it straight up. Bend your elbow to bring that hand behind the neck like we've been working on today. Take the other hand, turn your thumb down, reach behind you for the strap, and walk your fingertips as closely as you can together. 1 minute to hold cow face or our back scratch. So if you'd like to add a little bit more intensity, we're going to stretch this over to the side. So we're going toward the bottom arm. And that's really giving me a bigger stretch through my left, or it is my left, but the right upper tricep that we're working on here. "30 seconds. If you need to come out of the side stretch, that's okay. If you want to walk your fingers a little closer now, maybe you can get a little closer together. Or perhaps you can bind your fingers. 1 more breath. Inhale. And then very carefully, we'll release the strap with the bottom hand. Let that arm drop down a little bit and then bring it out from behind you. And the top arm releases. Just pause for a moment. No rush to go right into the other side. Just let all those sensations kind of dissipate a little bit. All right. So I know that this side's going to be a little easier for me. So let's see where we can go. Take that strap up. Drape it back behind the neck. If you want to give it a little push this way, you certainly can before you reach back for that strap. Take your thumb down, slide your hand behind, find it, and start to inchworm your fingers closer together. Make sure you're not pushing it past where you're feeling pain. 1 minute to hold. We can experiment with that side bend. This is also nice for the core because I really feel like I have to use my abs here to hold this side bend because my hand's not on the ground to support me. Make sure your head's neutral. You're not dropping your chin down to get that hand behind your neck. 30 seconds. If you need to, come up a little bit for the last 15 seconds or walk the fingers closer. One more breath. And then release slowly the bottom arm. Let it drop down and then around. And release the top arm. You can let go of your strap. And just relax everything. Maybe roll those shoulders a couple of times. So now we'll come into a twist. So we'll keep the right knee where it is bent there and take the left leg here in front. Sit up tall, grab this left knee with your right hand and pull your torso over to the left side. We can reach the left hand behind our body and look way over your left shoulder. Now, if this feels pretty easy and you want a little bit more of a hip stretch, this foot, instead of being in front, is going to come all the way across the other knee. And now I'm really feeling a bigger opening here through my hip. I love seeing the really flexible yogis that can actually reach their hands across this knee and they can get their hands to link behind their back. Oh, yes, this is good enough for me. I'm really satisfied with being able to do it this way. One more breath. Then before we switch our feet, let's switch the twist the other direction. This is a counter twist. Generally, it's not held as long. It's to the open side of the body. We'll just take one more breath here. All right, then come back to the center. Let's switch our feet, and we'll start with version 1 first. So we're going to just tuck this ankle in like we were going to sit in cross-leg pose. And then the other foot just steps right down on the floor. Reach across with the hand and rotate towards that right side. This is our closed twist. Look way over your right shoulder. If this is feeling good, you want to try more, then this foot goes across. And that's going to give you the hip opener. Now just check to make sure you're not slumping. Sometimes we do that without thinking. So lift up, 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 and then turn. See if you can turn your head a tiny bit more. And 2 more breaths. And let's do our counter twist, just simply revolving the other way to our open twist side where your belly's free here. Still a long spine, and look over that shoulder as far as you can for 1 more breath. And then let's come out of the twist to bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. So in the twist there, we opened the hip by bringing the knee across the body. Now we're going to open the hips by moving them the opposite direction. So just find a comfortable stretch here for your inner thighs. Your feet can be any distance forward and back that feels good for you. You can sit this just directly upright. You can press your elbows onto your knees a little. You can grab your ankles, but not your feet. You can fold forward a little bit, or a lot. If you're super flexible, you can just really fold forward. And while we're holding this pose, I just want you to call to mind something or someone that you are especially grateful for today. And I'm just going to share my gratitude for my sweet sister Susie, who does so much to take care of my mom. And at the beginning of class, I mentioned I got a text, and that was from her, and she told me her kitty cat passed away. So my thoughts And my heart goes toward my sister Susie this morning. Let's take one more breath. And then we'll come up. We'll press our palms at heart center. As we celebrate today, as we celebrate those